All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. It
Yo,
is Saturday, October 19th. You're back once again with the One Pair at a Time podcast channel. What's going on, everybody?
hey, good
Yo,
morning.
yo.
Shoot.
Morning.
What up, chat?
Yo, not
You are rocking
only,
with the best.
hold on a second. Not only is the color, bro, the shirt color's a match. The wording is a color match, too. I didn't even notice that.
Bro,
Hey, honestly,
this was not planned. Like again, this is weird. This was not planned.
be
This
honest.
is
Hey, look, I'm just paying to rep my alma mater, man. So come on now.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. This
hey,
is great.
hey, look who's already in the chat.
Hey, yo, we need to
What
talk.
up, fam?
We
Look,
need
look
to.
who's already in the chat.
Oh,
Our man Jeffrey Flight 23. He's already in the chat.
yo, loaded, locked and loaded on deck.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, DJ Tyler Radio says he think there's an echo.
I don't hear any echo feedback, so there must be something with him. I'm not getting any feedback through my headphones that there's an echo from any of us.
I'm going to mute my mic and let me know. You guys go ahead and talk.
see if there is one though. Again, he I don't know.
Do you still hear it, DJ? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
But I just want to say, man, to everybody, man. Did you brush your funky breath this morning?
Yeah.
Open up that shoebox and lace them up. Let's go.
Brush
Ah,
those teeth. Brush those teeth.
woo! Let's go. Lace them up. Whoa.
He sound like
growlers.
bro. If Shannon Sharp was loud during that session that we had when he was growling at his Michelle, that's what he would have sounded like.
Whoa. Whoa. That's Mama
That's what,
Sharon.
that's what he would have sounded
That's
like.
Mama Sharon.
For real.
Man,
Boy,
Yeah.
Uncle Sharp, boy, that boy wilding out, boy. We appreciate y'all, chat. We
O'Shea
appreciate
Sharp.
y'all, man. Let's
O'Shea
get it.
Sharp. Shit. Gentlemen, it looks like it's another Saturday
yes.
with no sneakers app releases, which man, I gotta say, it's kind of interesting, right? A week of, or a weekend of reprieve, right? From having to go after any type of shoes, really. That being said, man, with what's coming up with the rest of the year, how do you feel as though things are going to shape out?
I mean, I think it's gonna close out really well. When it comes to the sneaker game, I think it's closing out pretty good, and I don't want to get too far ahead and talk about next year because it burns everybody out. But I think what's happening on right now is definitely a good look. It's definitely a good look.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. How y'all think about it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like everything moves in cycles. So you have your crazy heat months, and then you have your real dry months. We're going through closing out a dry month, relatively speaking. In preparation for all the heat that's about to drop that closes out for 2024. So that's just where we are right now. So I think it's giving people's minds, spirits, and wallets a little bit of time to breathe in preparation. To go ahead and cop this heat that's dropping from November, December, and then taking us all the way into January and February. I mean, that's 4 months of straight drops. So, I mean, that's just, I'm appreciating this downtime, to say the least.
Ooh, downtime. Okay, that's interesting. You said that. Okay.
Yeah,
but,
Perp. Yeah, Perp. You are spot on. Spot on. Yep. Yeah, Perp. You is spot on. I can totally see that as well. This is well appreciated by my pockets.
Church.
Pocket appreciated.
That's
well, the other thing with some of these releases too, though, right?
Yeah.
There's so many that come out and then go on sale anyway, that patience can keep your pockets from hurting too.
Oh, absolutely.
With the way things have been moving, and
Absolutely.
honestly, speaking of 2025, I don't really see that much particularly changing. Although I will say this, we got a shock drop yesterday, right? On those, what were those dunks even called? I forget.
You're talking about the what
The
the duck dunks?
no, bro, they shock dropped yesterday. No,
Oh,
they
you
didn't
said
shock.
yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yesterday, they shock dropped
I'm sorry.
yesterday. Um,
The Japanese dunks. Okay.
yes, the
The
Japanese
Japanese
ones,
dunks.
and the thing with those are,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we haven't had a shock drop on much of anything in actually a very long time. And not only that, I didn't see too many platforms even talking about the fact that they were going to shock drop.
I'm sorry. You're talking about the Dunk Low Japan OS. What the 2024?
Correct.
That's what you're talking about.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how we were talking about with a lot of these shoes that are supposed to be coming out, the stock numbers that they're supposed to have, and then that we should be seeing shock drops on them, right? But we haven't really seen a shock drop on much of anything in actually a good minute, besides those Code Japans that dropped just yesterday, out of the blue rather too, because again, usually when the shock drop is going to happen, first off, it's all over the internet that it's coming, number one, and two, the time was out there. It just showed up in a sense.
Yeah.
It just showed up in a sense. Do you think now somehow Nike has found a way to reel in some of this early information when shock drops and things like that are going to happen? Or do you think it's just a byproduct of the fact that maybe not a lot of people are even checking for that shoe?
That is a good possibility. Jay, clean up some comments if that is you.
No, this is not me, but I will say whoever comments,
Lewis?
whoever.
It ain't me. I tried.
These are not on my side of the tracks. But I definitely want to say to Jamal and Brad, hey man, if you bring your grandmama over, tell her to take out her dentures. We'll definitely show you what we about.
Yo.
Yo.
All right. So
That's
kick rocks, my guy.
All right.
Kick rocks, my guy.
All right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you guys this though. Like, I think that's a very good question. You know what I mean? But I also feel like at the same time, I feel like probably what Nike is doing right now, they're keeping things a little bit more hush hush, right? And whoever gets tapped into the server can say, hey man, we getting the shock drop at 12:23, right, p.m. We're not getting it no more. And I like the fact that we're not getting a lot of shock drops right now, because when you just say shock drop, it absolutely stops the dopamine when it comes to like a release. You know what I mean? So if it becomes a little bit more limited, a little bit more scarce, it hypes everybody up like, oh man, I can get this pair early if it's a dope pair, of course. You know what I mean? So I like it. And to the comment about Perp and Mr. Think, I'm quite shocked that you guys said I'm happy this month, kind of slowed down in pockets, because for me, I don't feel like this month. I feel like things are spread out, but I don't feel like it's really a savings month. But that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was shocked y'all said that, like, the Kobe X-rays, you know what I mean? We also have what the Ducks dropped. You know what I'm saying? We have both of those pairs that dropped this month.
But you hit on those. We didn't.
No, right. But I'm saying it's still a hype month. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like it's a hype month in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Wait, did you hit on Kobe's?
We got the Kobe's coming in. We got the X-rays.
Oh, you did. You did hit Kobe. Okay.
You hit on the X-rays?
We got the X-rays coming in. They coming in, fam.
What retailer did you hit on them from?
Oh man, we got to do it for the 180.
Nice, man. Congrats.
Okay. So where are you getting them from?
Sneakers app.
Oh, you got it on a sneakers app. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Congrats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, real quick, let's talk about shock drops. I'm very curious to get people's thoughts right now on where we've been with shock drops so far in the last year or so versus where we are now. So we went from having a whole 3 days from now there will be a shock drop, and then getting the notification shock drop in 15 minutes, yada yada yada, to then all of a sudden we see what we just saw with the Wu Tang dunks, a random shock drop out at midnight, damn near, with no
Yeah.
heads up, no 15-minute
None.
window, no nothing. And now we see what they did with the Japan dunks yesterday. With there's a 15-minute window. So I was really starting to get happy because I thought that Nike was doing a paradigm shift from those 15-minute window shock drops to the pure, unadulterated shock drop, a real shock drop from what they used to do in 2019, 2018. So where do you think Nike's going with that? Do you think they're going to do a hybrid approach? Are they going to do some are 15-minute windows, some are just pure bona fide shock drops?
Yeah, I like the approach of the randomness, right? Because that is what gives you that. Oh, I couldn't believe they dropped them at midnight. Because first off, most people were freaking asleep at that time, right? um, I think that it definitely adds a nice little fun element because it can happen at random, right? And on a shoe like the Wu Tang Dunks, I mean, think about this. Not only did they shock drop on the sneakers app at a random time, but they also shock dropped through the Instagram shop
Yep.
at a random time as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now with the Instagram shop, there was some news starting to circulate that it was going to happen. You just didn't know when it was going to happen. It was more so be on the lookout for possible shock drop here, and then it just happened at some point. Okay. Uh, I think that puts a little bit of excitement as to, hey, what the possibilities are, and will you have that opportunity to go ahead and cop? Like, are you going to be awake? Are you going to be asleep? Like, what situation might you be in? You could be, it could be at some random time where you just happen to be looking at your phone, and then all of a sudden, boom, there they are. For a lot of people, though, they don't spend a ton of time on the sneakers app like that, right? So there is a way now to start to get traffic to come back into the sneakers app, because usually, like for example, when they were doing the lives, the only time people were watching those live streams was if there was a possibility of something shock dropping,
Facts.
right? Otherwise, you'd see the numbers for the stream, and it sometimes it could be less than 15,000 people that watched the entire thing because they knew, like, okay, there was no shock drop going to happen. And then on top of it, there were a lot of these pages out here, like through Twitter or different news information when it comes to the sneakers, that would just let you know, hey, a shock drop would happen, and put the link out there. So you didn't even need to even be watching the live itself. It would just happen, but somehow you would get the link to go ahead and go, oh, okay, boom, shock drop happened here. Let me go ahead and hit the link to it and try to get in there, cop the shoe, and then boom, you back out again.
You know what? DJ Tyler Radio said a good thing. He feel like Nike, the Nike by You, they should move it over to sneakers app to get more traffic. And I think that's a really good comment. You know what I mean? I think that's fire. And Fly Kick said the Wu Tang drops the teas on IG and sneakers app before they shock drop. So I think what Fly is saying, like, hey, they kind of let you know, hey, something's happening, but we ain't gonna tell you when. And I do like that. You know what I mean? I really do like that as well. Let me ask you this: where your kick stole? Do you feel like on sneakers app when they did those live shows, you don't think it was helpful? It was really engaging, especially if they brought someone more like a celebrity on it. Do you think it still was like it was kind of ineffective?
can I tell you something? When they do some of those interviews, like they did an interview with what's my man now that's got the collab with the Air Force One?
Lil Yachty.
Thank you, bro. I can't stand when they get on there and it feels like they got low energy in the way they talk. Is like monotone. Like you ask them a question and they're just like, yeah, well, you know,
I'm just here so I
that's
can
just that's
respond.
just that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I like. This is what I do. Blah 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 blah. Like yeah yeah. And then they're so flat. And then at some point, like he started. The only time he got hyped was when he kept talking about his what his collaboration was or something like. I don't know. I just can't stand when they got low energy like that. Like they need some higher energy types on there when they're doing these interviews because it's just boring sometimes listening to these guys. So it can be helpful. I thought it was interesting when they do actually get people on there who is not afraid to express themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, but on a grand scale, like there's so many outlets out there where you are picking up this early information on sneakers that it's almost as if when Nike finally does want to talk about a shoe early, it feels like Nike is late to the game in bringing you the information on the shoe.
That's interesting. Okay. Okay. And it's interesting that, if there's firewalls, if someone's breaking through the firewalls and saying, "Hey, man, we know this is coming, this is coming," but again, I do feel like it's part of the organization's fault to say, "Hey, man, we're gonna show you guys a sneaker from 2026," and it's like, bruh, we hyped, and then by 2026 come, you know what I'm saying?
There you
Everybody's
go.
like, "I don't want it. I've seen it too many times," just like sneaker YouTubers, bro. Like, and I don't blame sneaker YouTubers. Let me first say that. But when we see certain people getting shoes 4 months ahead of time and selling them to people, it's just like, bruh, it raises questions. And then it's also kind of like it stops the hype, you know what I'm saying? Or the excitement when it comes to certain drops, because people are like, oh man, well, I've already seen that video. I'm turned off right now. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, go
keep
ahead.
going, my bad, my bad.
Oh no. I was gonna say no. You're 1,000% right. And shout out to Fly Kick 88 for the comment. He said, "Do you think cook groups on Discord changed the game for shock drops or early releases?" And I would have to say yes. I would have to say yes. But that's just one. That's just one segment of it, right? Like, Mr. Thing, from your perspective, like when early information comes out for certain companies, it can, from an investor standpoint, right? It can raise the excitement in the investors, but it's just like it's early news, and so until an official announcement comes out from the company, it's not necessarily moving the needle in terms of like, what a share price is going to do. But when we're talking about being able to get these sneakers, right? Um, when you watch what goes down out here, it's almost like a reverse effect from how people would move like within the market. It's like, well, now that you finally have an opportunity to get your hands on it, it's like, well, do you even really want to move forward with something like this, right? It's like do you recognize the difference in mentality when it comes to something like that? And you're on mute, by the way.
All right,
There
perfect.
you
There,
go.
thanks.
There you go.
I have seen that difference of mentality. Um, Man, so when it comes to investing, there is a saying: you buy the rumor, you sell the news, right? But I think to your point, if there was some big news coming by Apple, like let me just make something up. Let's just say if even though Apple did decide to cancel the Apple car because they were in the process of making a vehicle, but let's just say if that car was going to be manufactured, by early next year. If you had this intel, I mean, you would want to possibly, you know, uh, engage a little bit more in the Apple stock or your investments or whatever the case is. And then by the time the news officially drops, you're like, hey, I got in early. I was early to the party, right? I do see like a reverse um, effect when it comes to the sneaker game. However, for me personally, and this is just my opinion, it doesn't bother me actually. Like I know y'all say it turns y'all off. It doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form if I know about a shoe that's dropping Christmas next year. If I like the shoe, I'm gonna get the shoe. It doesn't matter if I've seen it a year in advance. It has a zero impact on me. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna get it, regardless if I've seen it 2 years early. I'm not gonna get the shoe if I don't like it, and I will get it if I do. So and maybe that's because I am an investor in the stock market, and it really doesn't bother me. Like it has a zero impact. We get on here, we talk about not gatekeeping information, and kind of hooking up the community in the whole 9 yards, and then it's almost like when info is getting leaked, some people are like, "Oh, you leaking it too much or too early," and I'm like, I don't have a problem with it, like zero. But that's just like I said, I got zero issues with it when it comes
But
to these sneakers.
but okay, so I think it comes down to, for us as content creators, like a lot of times we talk about those out there who can and cannot, get their hands on items early, right? Now, there could be situations out there where maybe that early merchandise isn't what it's supposed to be.
Legit.
Okay, that's basically what it comes down to, right? It could or could not be legit, but they always say that their sources that they're getting some of these early items from are legit. But from our standpoint, like when we go to create content around some of this stuff, like we try to do it from the perspective of, you know what, and I'll commend us on this, that we do it in a way to where we try to be one of the people. Like, we get it during the regular release time, right? So we have the same perspective as just a I guess a quote unquote normal consumer, right? Who doesn't do content around the sneakers. But there's people out there obviously that love to consume the content around the shoes. But I feel like having that perspective and that viewpoint of, hey, we got them the same time you got them, so here's our reaction along with your reaction at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lost element in that excitement for some of these content creators, because it's like, okay, well, we've had the shoe. You done made 15 videos about the shoe now, and we know who's guilty of that out there. And then the shoe comes out, and now they're, in some cases, poo-pooing the shoe.
Right.
When they first were excited about it, and then as the content they created started to go, then it's almost as if they started to say something different about it as it came out. Jay, you were going to say something to that.
Yeah. So, Mr. Thing, like I don't get unexcited. You know what I mean? When I see sneakers about next year, I'm talking about, not for me. I'm just talking about for the general consumer. You know what I mean? For those who are getting this information, because everybody has a different sneaker realm, where they're at. You know what I mean? I agree with you. It doesn't unhype the shoe for me, but for the general public, for the general consumer, they like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, and that's in reference to what I'm speaking to. And yes, chat, we don't gatekeep anything. We give you guys the information. I just want to drop something real quick because I'm not getting on topic, but I know it sounds like I am. Check your local Foot Lockers, because a lot of the local Foot Lockers have gotten late shipments in for the Kobe X-Ray. So if you're looking for that Kobe X-Ray and you took a L, you might want to check your local Foot Locker, because they may be readily available there. Where your kicks, for me, bro, like, I want to go back and answer something. When it comes to the discords and stuff like that, I think the discords are great. but I don't feel like the Discords necessarily have turned down the hype of sneakers, because if you guys are in a Discord and they're able to give you guys the information that says, hey, you know what, this sneaker's gonna drop at this time, I think that's dope. But on the flip side of the note is, for those who are not in the Discord, it's kind of like a turnoff. It's like, well, then it really wasn't a shock drop. So it
Mm.
depends on what side of the coin you in. You know what I mean? But I do feel like if you're not in the Discord and you just so happen to pick up your mobile device, right, and you're on that app and something comes up, I do feel like the dopamine when you catch that W would be much higher because it was unexpected than it being expected.
Real quick, shout out to the chat for tapping in with us right
What up,
now on
Cat?
another Saturday with the One Pair at a Time podcast channel. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for being in here. Appreciate the comments that go along with the conversation we're having right now surrounding these shock drops out here. And Perp, I gotta ask you, right? When we talk about what Nike could possibly do to bring back that excessive, that dopamine hit, right, that Jay Elevate just touched on, because let's face it, like when you think about hitting on a sneaker out here from any retailer, seeing that got 'em screen does something to you that's completely different than getting like the bag screen from like Finish Line or whatever the screen is from Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing that got 'em screen when you get in there on a drop, and even the sneakers draws, right? And you see that got 'em screen. Like from your perspective, what is a tweak maybe besides being able to finally Nike themselves be able to gatekeep the information on these shock drops? What's like some other tweaks in terms of info that you think Nike could try to hold tighter to the chest? You know what I'm saying, that to help bring back some of that excitement when things do actually happen.
Well, I'm probably going to say this, and it's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but limit the relationships with a lot of these social media influencers, like Z Sneakerhead, for example. Because if you notice, there are certain sects or subsets of information that's leaked to specific individuals, him being one of those people. And if you limit the leaks at the source, then it will bring back some of that luster, and it'll give us more of a what's coming next, right? Not, oh, we already know what's dropping all the way into mid 2025, right? That's crazy. It would say, okay, wow, whoa, what's coming in December? Right now, we're already in the month of October. We have no idea, so I think you need to start there, because I mean, right now, just as we are in a society, social media has taken over everything. Social media has just been the way for so many different things. You have, and definitely don't want to bleed over into politics right now, but you have, presidential candidates reaching out to a lot of these YouTubers and social media influencers trying to get on their platform because they understand the importance of how critical dissemination is, right?
Yes.
So that would be where I would start on for starters. The other aspect of it is, I think that Nike has to make a decision on where they see themselves in the future, right? They need to retweak their mission statement. They need to create a roadmap to their vision of where they want to be in the next 5 years or so. And they need to start executing that, set benchmarks and then go from there. And it starts at the top with a lot of these data leaks to the social media influencers.
Jay, seems like
Chat,
you got
yo,
to follow
hey,
to
listen,
that.
the chat is lit, baby. You know what I'm saying? The chat is lit. Hey, Jason said, hey, Perp, you better keep on preaching, boy. You better keep on preaching, young man. Shout out to DJ Tyler Ritter. He said he got the Blackfield Generals, man. I think that's dope. And fly kicks, bro. Perfect. You said the black toe, for example, right along John, he said for another reason, things sales down also because people passing for other kicks. And you
Yeah,
know,
and that. Go ahead. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, though, right?
yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying the chat, y'all are like spot on with it, man. And Perp, you right, bro. And a lot of thing too is like Nike. Nike is the most notorious pre-leaked silhouettes for the past ever. You know what I mean? For a very, very long time. And so in the comment section, somebody also said, "Hey, bro, do y'all think Nikes are being passed up for more comfortable sneakers as well? And not only for comfortability, but because people are not like getting bored seeing the same silhouettes for 9 months before they drop over and over again. That I think those two go hand in hand as well. Why certain people are passing up on certain silhouettes. And I mean, and we talked about this, fellas. Let's talk about the movement. And when I say movement, I'm talking about who and why it started to chip away from a little bit of Nike's market standpoint, even though we already Nike is the juggernaut, as where your kicks would say, we know Nike is the juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
But can we agree there's a certain sneaker brand and other sneaker brands is chipping away from from some of that market?
Yeah, I mean when you're talking about overall market, when you're talking about the market as a whole, right? Nike is the juggernaut in terms of all sales. Okay, but there's certain segments out there to where these other brands have been able to really eat at that, eat at their viability in certain ways. Like in running, you got Hoka, that's pretty much now looked at as probably the number one shoe out there in terms of running is concerned. Um, what is it? We just saw yesterday the stat that apparently the Adidas Samba is the most searched shoe now here in based on United States statistics from Google. The most searched shoe now is the Adidas Samba, um, which to me personally, I like the consumer diversity because when you think about it, we thought that there was just going to be, and it was a little bit a major fall off for Adidas when they lost out when the Yeezy and Adidas cut ties, right? And for the Yeezy silhouette itself, the silhouettes themselves, you see now they're being sold at like half off in Adidas stores. When before people used to trample on each other to try to get themselves a pair of Yeezy 350s.
Right.
Now it's just they're just sitting there and to the point where the Simpsons made fun of the damn shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Like that runs down bad when you got the Simpsons cracking jokes on you, bruh. So but in this case here, the diversity in sneakers is actually a welcome thing, especially when you look at it from a resale perspective. And here's what I'm saying about that. Because for a while, there was now a hyper focus on Nike and Jordan brand shoes because when you looked at the market, there was nothing else out there competing with anything that Nike and Jordan brand was dropping in terms of what resellers were trying to get their hands on. But because now you got some viability coming from Asics, Saucony, and even Adidas themselves have been able to carve out, some silhouettes that people are now trying to get their hands on. Now resellers got to start making decisions on, okay, where do they want to make the investments in their inventory in, which for us as a consumer actually helps because, well, now there's not as much of a hyper focus on some of these shoes that are coming out from Nike, and the stock is going to be decent too.
I was going to mention that. I do believe there are a couple of factors, supply and demand, whether it's the comfortability, whether pricing, availability, stock, like you said. I mean, why why should somebody sit here and you know get on an app and you don't get the shoe, something you wanted, and when you can go into your local store and pick up a different brand that's available right now, and it's still a good, comfortable, nice design, cheaper, you know,
Well, you
shoe.
mentioned cheaper, right? And here's the interesting thing is these New Balance pairs that drop, they're not necessarily any less expensive than a Jordan 1. They sell for like 180, 200 plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's interesting though that in our minds we think some of these other brands like the shoes are cheaper, but they're not. They're not actually. So when we think of what we see sitting sometimes from Nike, is it really that the pockets are hurting? Or is it that they just really didn't want that shoe and they'd rather, for whatever reason, they take the $180, $200 and they spend it on maybe they try to get like the Asics collab or the Saucony collab. Like I think the J tips, what were those, 150, 160? The ones that dropped?
Saucony, yeah.
So I'll take it a step further. I think you made some very valid points for your kicks, but I think really at the end of the day, from a consumer perspective, if I have two sneakers in my hand, I have one for 170, one for 170 by two different brands. I'm looking at material build, I'm looking at comfortability, wearability, things like that as factors into making my decision. And I think more people are starting to veer over to ASIC and New Balance, not because of pricing, because yeah, you do make a very valid point, but because of materials. They're a better built shoe. They're a more comfortable shoe. They're a more wearable shoe. You're paying 160, 180 now for a Jordan 1, and the material is shit. The comfort is non-existent. You're paying for aesthetics. People, consumers nowadays want more than aesthetics. They want a full utility shoe. And I think that's one of the factors that flows into play.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I wanted to say this based on what you were saying. If you recall, when Porsche was putting cars here in the U.S., one of the things that they balked against was putting cup holders in there for the U.S. market. And when they did give you cup holders, it was like these things in there to where it's like you couldn't even really put an actual cup in there. The way they designed the seats. Matter of fact, look at Mini Cooper. When they first came and started finally selling their cars here in the United States, what they end up having to do? They ended up having to make the car bigger for the American population because of the quote-unquote complaints coming out of the U.S. that, the people were buying them, but they felt like they were too cramped inside.
Well, kudos for you for actually pronouncing Porsche the correct way. So I want to put a spotlight on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to say something, man, because I see a lot of the community is talking about some things. Some people saying, hey, like New Balances are too bulky, certain shoes are too bulky. But I would say this, chat, some of these sneakers that people would say are bulky, you might be talking about the midsole, how chunky it is. And when we talk about Hoka's, which is to me the most comfortable sneaker on the market right now, and definitely the best running sneaker, video coming soon. People are looking for that comfort. So those generally, not all the time, but those chunky midsoles, those chunky outsoles, they're really for the comfortability. Now, Purple, you did mention something, and also you guys are talking about pricing. So if you guys look at New Balance, you might see a New Balance silhouette for like 160, and then you will see another New Balance for 210. So New Balance, what they do is they're like, hey, this particular sneaker is meant for this, right? This sneaker is really meant for this. So they're looking at it in terms of the utility, the ability of what that sneaker is really meant to do, because New Balance makes walking sneakers, running sneakers, the 1960 U, the U, which means like, hey, it's an all around, you can rock climb with it. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. It's still a comfortable sneaker. So pricing varies depending upon what you're trying to do. And yes, people are not only looking at the build quality, they're looking for comfort, they're looking for styling. And so it's changing the whole thing. And also, I agree with you, Ken. When you're talking about Reebok, yes, Reebok right now has some dope shirts at Walmart, bro. Like, you're not lying. Hey, no, for real, for real. Like, I'm keeping it a bean.
You
Y'all know I'm gonna
said,
keep it a bean with you,
bro,
right?
I wasn't. The words "dope" and Walmart
You know
being
what I
used
mean? Like,
together in a
for
sentence
real.
was not something
Reebok
I
has some
expected.
dope shirts at Walmart. And I agree. In order for Reebok to jump back into the market, right? They do need to get out of Walmart, right? But when we talk about the Reebok, let's take it back earlier this year. Let's take it back to the Reebok NASA drop, how that silhouette instantly, and I'm talking about the high, not the other two lows, because those sold out later on. It was an instant sellout. So with Reebok doing that, they doing the Marvel pack. Like, you have so many other people, other brands who trying to jump back into this market because they understand consumers are looking left, right, behind them. There's no more straightforward anymore, right? When we talk about Adidas, Adidas is like, hey, guess what? Since y'all want to drop the Kobe's, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drop the Kareems on you. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drop the Bar Mollies on you. We are here to compete this month. We are here to compete. And I
But
love the competition.
but
I'm sorry I'm getting passionate. I'm not sorry. I'm getting passionate about this because I love it.
but
I love the competition. Let's get it.
are the Bob Marleys actually competing?
They sold out instantly.
Are they
Absolutely.
okay? How many
For
pairs do
this
they have?
month. I said this month now, okay?
Uh,
So remember, I said this month. I'm getting hyped, man. Woo!
nah, I mean, look, the variety that's out there is definitely welcomed, in my opinion, because I felt like we were missing that element when all you had, basically, as far as what's out there to really look at, talk about, was Nike and Jordan Brand. Now, do I buy those other brands? Nope, I don't. But I got no problem talking about them. Now, if they actually drop the rest of this Ninja Turtle pack, oh, then we got a different thing to talk about. Because I'm still waiting on them Splinters and Shredders to drop here in the U.S. But we ain't gonna get into that. I don't know what Adidas is thinking. American cartoon, and you drop that crap only overseas. But you know what? That's neither here nor there.
Speaking of Reebok and Adidas and things like that, there was a restock yesterday of the Deadpools and the Wolverines on the Reebok site.
Oh, was there?
Nice.
I don't know if you all caught
Was
that.
there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing I will say about this, though, because these other brands have been trying to, for example, they've started to come out with some of their skateboard silhouettes to try to compete against the Nike SB, which, interestingly enough, what do you guys think the reason for just the, I guess you could say that the SB has been brought down in terms of people going after that shoe? I mean, look, we saw a few SBs just sit around on the app. Do you think it's a matter of just a colorway, as Mr. Think has alluded to? Sometimes silhouettes don't sit, it's colorways that actually sit? Or do you think it's just a matter of, for whatever reason, just SB is just kind of falling off a little bit in terms of how the community looks at them?
So chat. So I'm laughing. That's funny. I'm gonna tell you right now. Why do you think SBs became so popular? Can I pose that question to everybody, chat, and to my family on the panel?
Who wants to take that first? Well, I'll go. I'll say this. I believe the SBs became popular due to the fact that it was a shoe, and the way in which they talked about, advertised the shoe, went along with how the community was, right? Like, kind of, skateboarders are this different segment of people and how they go about doing things. They're not necessarily rule followers, obviously, right? A lot of places they go to try to skateboard in, they got signs up saying no skateboarding here, don't do those kind of things here. I mean, they basically they see it as the world is their oyster for where they can go out and really, do what they love to do. Kind of that rebel kind of mindset. And I think Nike captured that really well early on and throughout the years with the uniqueness and some of the collaborations they did, or some of the themes that they put out there with the shoes. And then it at some point, I don't know when it caught on to the rest of the sneaker community like that, but other people outside of skateboarding themselves started to really take a liking to the way the shoes are. And then shout out to Levi. He's saying the SBs were cheaper. They were a cheaper shoe to go ahead and get. A cheaper shoe with great materials on them.
I was actually about to say that. It's you're absolutely right. I was going to talk about the quality and the build, since Perp talked about that earlier. You have, like, I don't have any SBs, but there's some SBs that I've tried to pick up, and once again, when I talk about pricing, if you don't hit on this SB and then you go to the resale market, the pricing is going to change significantly versus the other brands. So once again, the pricing the aftermarket side of it does have a heavy impact, and once again, I don't know what, statistically speaking, I don't know what the percentage of people are like as a parent myself, because I know about sneakers, and if my kid wants a certain sneaker, I will get that sneaker for him. But I don't know what the percentage of parents will be out there to say, hey, it's back to school season. I'm going to get you a pair, an outfit for school, some sneakers for school. What would you like? Let's go to the mall and pick up something today. And sorry, I'm trying to get my camera to zoom out. But hey, I want these Jordans and they don't have them here. Let's try 5 different malls. And they're like, yeah, we're not doing all that. You can grab something that's here and available right now. And once again, when it comes down to the SBs, and in particular, the quality, the comfort, for the pricing, they're giving us materials and comfort and quality and pricing and style, and you name it, the technology, you name it. Like for the money, it's definitely it's going to be better than a Jordan 1. I'll tell you that. Generally speaking, what happened with SBs is I think Nike kind of done what is typical. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they flooded the market, just like how during COVID, the Jordan 1 was a hot shoe, and they flooded the market and it faded off. That's what I think what happened with SB. They made too many of them, just like how they make too many Jordan 1s. They made too many of them. I love the Jordan 1. Don't know them. But they flood the market with those things.
That's definitely a different perspective, thinking there's too many SBs out there, especially when the releases somewhat can seem few and far between. But shout out to the chat right now. Appreciate you guys being tapped in with us here at the One Pair at a Time podcast channel. Shout out to our guy G-Fish, who was in the comments right now, the Oracle himself. And yes, he's right. Skaters didn't originally skate in SB shoes. Correct me if I'm wrong, G-Fish, but it was the Jordan 1 that they actually used to love to skate in, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
LA to Chicago SB collaboration. It was paying homage to that.
Yeah, correct. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that, Perp. Yeah, the Jordan 1s. Also, Tyler said, Tyler goes, people are skating in Adidas, skating Vans. Yeah, I mean.
Flat. Yeah.
a flat shoe, right? Somewhat of a thin midsole is what you wanted to be connected to the board, right? Have that feel. And then when you think about the fact that Nike's going to experiment now with doing an SB collab on the Air Force One, or SB collab on the Air Maxes, I feel as though people are going to go after the shoe. But in terms of it actually being able to perform in the way it's supposed to perform, when you think about how the skaters actually felt about trying to skate in those SB4s, it's not necessarily a shoe they would have picked to skate in. So when we go to see those next year, well, let me back up. Do we actually think they're going to do it? Number one. And two, if they do, how do you really think it's going to be perceived?
Wait. What was the question? One more time. Do they think we're going to do what?
The Air Force One SB and the Air Max 96 SB.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna say this, right? I'm taking this from a perspective of non-resale hype, because I agree with you, Ken. Just because a sneaker does not sell out does not mean it wasn't fire or dope. I agree
Facts.
with you.
Facts, Ken Norton. Facts.
I agree with you 1,000%. Right? I agree with you. I'm 100% agreement with you. So let's take out that factor. But when we're talking about on a general grand scale of things, and people's like, this is the first Air Force One SB. This is the first of something. People go crazy over it. You know what I mean? Because it's the first of something. This is today's society. When it comes to the sneaker community, things are just changing with a different type of generation mindset, right? So I'm just looking at it from that perspective. I do believe, like, with Nike's technology, with Nike going ahead and doing some extensive research on trying to figure out how to make that foot board mental connection, I think they're going to do as best as they can with those silhouettes. Doesn't mean it's going to be better than, like, for example, skateboarding the Converse. That's why people rock Converse when it's time to squat in. That's why they rock the Blazers when they working out in, because that sneaker, you can feel the ground. You know what I'm saying? You have that ability to use more of your legs, your power to get you up. And that's the same thing when it comes to doing kick flips, ollies. You have to use those muscles and that mental connection to make sure you sticking on that board. You know what I mean? So I do feel like they're testing something out. Now the Air Max, that's going to be very interesting, because if they leave that bubble out there, that thing is going to pop. It's going to be something different.
That's
what I mean?
That's my concern with that too. That's my concern.
So, from that aspect, yes. And I don't mind the fact that the idea is being thrown out, because, hey, if they can cut down the chunkiness of the Air Force One and put some tech in it, right, where you got some grip at the bottom, and then figure out how to make that shoe comfortable. You know what I mean? Like prior, original Nike, I said Nike now, SBs. And I want to say, I don't think SBs are not as popular as it used to be, not because it's oversaturation with the market. I think that's a small part of it. It's the storytelling. The SB department murdered Jordan department when it came to why is this sneaker dropping? What is the theme behind this dropping, right? I'll give you an example. The Bart Simpson. People went ballistic over the Simpsons. The colorway made sense. It connected with the community, with people growing up watching the longest. I think the Simpsons is the longest cartoon show running ever, or without any breaks, something like that. Whatever the case may be. But that's just a small example. Like when that SB department dropped something, it really connected with you with that theme. It's just not like, hey man, we got a colorway, here you go, $210. Well, guess what? It's 110, then it bumped to 115, then it bumped to 130. Why? Because it became popular. Because Nike saw a way to make money. Even though the quality of all of those SBs were not were not top tier, but there were enough top tier quality SBs that you can rock on feet, look good, go skateboarding, you know, throw some baby powder in them bad boys with them
He said
sweaty
baby
feet,
powder.
right? That's all
Oh
I'm saying,
shit!
man.
You got me coughing out here, bro.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Baby
But
powder, bro. What you
hey,
out there wearing these things with no socks on?
hey, so Mercedes, I just want to say to you, hey, when it says it's not cold outside, shave off your mink. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know right now. That's one of my models right there, you know?
But what's the mink? Or can you not
You
say
heard?
that?
Yeah, you can't say that, but
Oh, he can't say what it is. Yeah, you gotta use your imagination.
yeah, for sure. But
Oh man, shout out to the chat right now for being up in here. I saw Manny Pandy tapped in.
Manny
Shout
Penny
out
in
to
the house.
you.
What up?
Appreciate you being in here, man. I'm still stuck on the baby powder part.
no, no. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't. This is why Vans will never go away. I don't care what you say. Van has a market, and Van's market will never go away because we know whether it's highs or lows, people are going to rock Vans because not just for skateboarding, but for that rebel mentality. Like one of you guys stated earlier, Van has a
Yeah.
market, and Van market has never like dipped, and now Van is doing some low key collabs, and Vanders, right? Know these low key collabs, and they collect these particular Vans as well. Let's be honest.
So real quick, I went and did like a quick Google search for like the most popular skater shoes out there, and it says here. This isn't necessarily in any kind of particular order, but the most popular shoes among skaters, they're saying we have the Nike SB Blazer Low Pro GT, the America Pillar Mids, New Balance Numeric 306s, Adidas, sorry, Kenny Anderson's, Glow Mullins, Vans TNT, Vans Half Cab 92,
I know what those are.
Nike SB Dunk Lows, the Adidas Tyshawn's, Nike Nyjah, hopefully I pronounced
Free
that
two.
correct, Free Twos, and then the New Balance 1010 Tygos. Now, some of these silhouettes, I'm gonna tell you flat out. America Pillars, the Adio Kenny Andersons, the Globe Mullen, I have not come across anybody. I think I might have heard about these Americas from the Olympics, actually, that there were people in the Olympics rocking those. But you know, those are brands. Some of those brands you may have heard of, you may not have heard of. I mean, you probably heard of them if you're deep into the skating community like that. But there's obviously, right, a lot of different shoes out there from different sneaker brands that produce sneakers for skating. But when you think about the Nike SB, we know of it due to a lot of the collabs, right? Due to a lot of the nice materials that they put on there. But in terms of skate shoes are concerned, they're probably, for the most part, bottom tier in terms of what skaters are actually going to get to skate in. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I can't say that because if they're bottom tier and these skaters are trying to prolong their time, you know, being out there on the concrete, you know what I mean? I can't say that. I can't say that. You know, I mean, I think when you have a sneaker that is built for skating, I'm quite sure there's different tiers, right? I don't disagree with that, but these particular skaters are going towards these brands for a reason because they're built purpose to hit, you know, on concrete and to do tricks and to do what they need to do, whether it's longboard, shortboard, whatever the case may be.
Perp?
Yeah, I agree with what Jay said. I think at the end of the day, it's about how you can prolong your game. Um, there's so many different variations out there in the skateboarding world. A lot I'm not too familiar with, so I'm not going to go off into that rabbit hole. But yeah, it's all about being able to prolong and being able to sustain your game and hone your skills as much as possible, and that's what it really falls down to variation. Now, somebody said dunk. I'm sorry, blazer lows are. I've never seen anybody skating blazer lows. So, chat, please educate me here if that's like a thing for skateboarding. I mean, I see people in the gym all the time squatting.
Oh yeah, but I
You
usually see blazer highs in the gym. I don't see a ton of lows. But when you think about how a blazer low is set up, I mean, it makes sense from
yeah,
my perspective that they'd be great to skate in, especially because they allow for some really good ankle flexion.
super flat. Yeah,
And then it's got a thin midsole too.
yeah. I would be surprised I don't see more people. Well, it probably because there's lack of ankle stability, skating in Chuck Taylors because I mean they're flat.
Oh, people skating Chuckies.
Do they?
I don't. I'm gonna say when I usually see someone skating in Chucks, they're really high. I see some people in lows, but I really see most people in highs on those Chuckies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real quick, just to look, we got a shot of a blazer, Zoom Blazer Low GT. I mean,
I mean, to me that looks like a chunky sole.
it does. It actually does. But maybe it's because of the contrast between the black and the white. It looks larger than what it really is. Somewhat of an optical illusion. Possibly. What did I say? Did I say something pause-worthy? Did I say something pause-worthy and I didn't say pause on it?
It was
Shout out to
pausable.
our guy Joe Campo. Ocampo in the chat right now. He said, back in my teen days in California, the 80s, Vans, Vision Streetwear, Converse, Airwalks. Damn, that's one brand I haven't heard about.
Airwalks.
And Nike.
Airwalks.
Where are the shoes?
Man,
Airwalks. I haven't heard Airwalks in a minute. You know another one? What was that? What was that brand? I think they did the jeans. Was it Jenko? JNCO?
Yeah, I remember Jenko.
Did they not pull out sneakers as well?
I can't recall that.
Could have sworn they did. Non-skaters went to because Jordan getting stale and oversaturated. I mean, well, look.
Nike Cortez, yep.
It was interesting though that the skaters chose Jordan 1 highs to skate in.
Because it's a flat shoe. It's flat.
Correct, but I'm surprised they didn't go for like a mid to skate in due to the fact that it's a lower cut and probably allowed for the ankle flexibility a little more, especially depending on how some of them wear it. Now, materials aside, what'd you say? What were you saying?
A mid and a Jordan 1 high have different cup soles.
Yeah.
Different. Yeah. Do they really?
Yeah. It feels really different.
Completely different.
One pair of mids, and it definitely does not. I can put it on blindfolded and tell I have on a pair of mids.
See, maybe it's just me. I don't.
There is a difference.
That's interesting.
There's a difference
in comfort and feel, because I have mids.
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily.
The back of a Jordan 1 got that hourglass. Like even if you just look at the back of it, you got that hourglass cut, and the mid is gonna be like.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. But Perp was alluding more to the midsole
Yeah, that too.
having a difference in.
It is different.
You can
Really?
just feel the difference.
Yeah.
You can absolutely feel the difference between a mid and a Jordan 1 high.
You can.
My man said, Don Duck said, I'm from Detroit, and I even saw people skating in Adidas top 10s.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
Tony
Levi said
Hawk
he
was
preferred
Jordan
Mids.
1s. Interesting.
A few people actually say that, Jay. Actually, a few people. When I
Yeah,
made a video about mids versus highs,
Mids
there
have a
are a lot
loyalty.
of mid lovers.
Yeah, mids have a loyalty for sure.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And the other thing, too, is a lot of people said that they felt like it was easier to wear mids, especially in the summertime, with their shorts than it did to wear the highs.
Well, yeah, I mean, shorter shoe, obviously. so
Correct.
makes sense.
Correct. But some people alluded to that. They choose a mid. And it also said they choose, I forgot what else they said they choose a mid for. But when you look, I mean, not for nothing, for whatever reason, Nike has snuck in some Jordan 1 mids out there that actually do have some decent materials on them.
Very nice quality.
They don't advertise them like that.
That's
Very
true.
nice quality.
That's true.
You know.
Yep.
That's true. It's some mids out there with some nice quality.
And then what's the average price point on a mid? Is it still 135?
I want to say so.
Is it 135, 140?
Actually, I lied. I have 2 pair of mids.
Oh, you got those are the Fearless, right?
Yeah, I have 2 pair of mids. I have these and I have my beaters that I've had for about 13 years. So the quality on these is just sick. It's just sick. You know,
Yeah.
it's a beautifully designed shoe.
So when I did my
Straight up.
Nike Bayou Dunk Highs, I actually that was the inspiration for them.
Yeah.
The Fearless mids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see now I saw suede nubuck
That is
materials
nice.
on there, right?
Yeah, so suede, nubuck, you have chenille for the swoosh, and you have corduroy for the mid panel.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Now the tongue is different on them. The tongue is designed different on them, I feel like, versus other mids.
Let's see if I can get you to focus. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot thinner. It's super thinner. It's not as puffy, right? And it's not as insulated.
Correct.
So, I mean, it just. But again, I could put this on in the dark, blindfolded, not have someone put it on me without touching it, and I could absolutely tell it's a mid, without a doubt. It's
Okay.
just, I mean, look, if you look at this, let me grab, I'll grab my SB real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the shape of this shoe from the side versus an SB Jordan 1, I mean, you can definitely see there's definitely a variation in the shape. Absolutely. And what Derek was making a point of, hourglass versus straight up and down on the mid. You can absolutely see that difference. Like night and day. It's just different. Like a one hugs your foot. It just this, the cup sole, the midsole, and even the way that it fits in the back. It's just different.
Purple almost growled there. Almost hit it with the shading growl.
Hey, this is a recordable.
Oh, damn.
That's my Jordan 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's what Daddy likes. That's what Daddy likes. Yeah.
But he say, that's my machine.
Hey, man,
That's my Jordan 1.
That's
Oh,
my machine.
oh.
Oh, my bad. It's a family show, folks. It's a family show.
Not anymore.
Hey, chat, we
Oh,
appreciate
man.
y'all, chat. Double tap that screen, chat. Like, share,
Yes.
subscribe, chat. We appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best, man.
Run them likes up for real. Appreciate y'all being tapped in with us here.
Y'all are the best.
We actually have. Did we not have a Dornbecker drop earlier this year?
Yes.
Well, apparently we're getting another Dornbecker drop.
I heard it was, what, 3 or 4 of them?
There was actually a few.
Oh, here
Yeah,
we go.
it's
So,
crazy. Air Max DNs, that's nasty work, folks. They need to
we
be.
won't. Yeah, here we. Well, first up to look at it, the Air Max Dornbecker Air Max DNs by Connor Casing Fernandez. How do y'all feel about this one?
Too much for me. This a pass.
Now, real quick, Jay. Real quick. Let's see if we're on the same page. Based on the uppers, what does that remind you of? Not the material, just the way the uppers are designed. What does that remind you of? I'm going to give you a hint. Think foam posit.
Oh, the Jans.
The Tekkens, yes.
Tekkens. I wasn't thinking that. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking of that upper remind me of a New Balance. When you look at the shape of that toe box, I was really thinking of a New Balance that was reminding me of. But yeah, those foam posits, I'm all for the Tekken. I'm all for the Tekken. But this is a
but here's my thing though. So how can you say this is too much, but this is damn near identical to how they did the Tekkens?
Bro, like for me, you have to think about shape of the shoe, design of the shoe. It doesn't matter if something like this is like almost the same, but to me, it's also the shape and design of the sneaker. For me,
okay,
this just doesn't work. This is a pass for me, but I do feel like this shoe will do well because it's a Dornbecker.
Oh well, yeah. Mr. Thang, any thoughts real quick before I move on to the next one?
I don't know. I think Air Max DN is a failed project, and they're trying to inject Dornbecker in here to bolster sales. Nothing more, nothing less. Will it work? 50-50 shot. That's all I have.
I'm not a fan of the Max DN like Perp, but I think that colorway looks nice.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Mr. Thang. I do actually like the way this shoe looks. I'm not a huge fan of the Air Max DN, although I've heard stories that apparently it's one of the most comfortable Air Maxes that they've put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay, it says the story of who's doing it. Diagnosed with low-grade glioma. No idea what that is. Let's see here. All right, so we have the Dornbecker Air Jordan 6s. Now, I believe they've done an Air Jordan 6 Dornbecker in the past. Is that correct, gentlemen? They've done it. They've done one.
Dornbecker 6.
I'm not sure about a 6.
I don't know about no 6.
I know they've done an 8. They've done 3s. They've done 4s. They've done Vomeros. They've done Jordan 1 lows.
G-Fish, have they done a Dornbecker 6 in the past?
Right, that's the right one.
I can't recall the Dornbecker 6. I can't recall that. I'll tell you, this right here, this silhouette is for a young child. So when it comes to this 6 right here, this is for a young kid. I think that this is what was the direction for this particular drop, not for adults, but for younger kids.
See, now I thought the same with the Jordan 3 Dornbeckers with the slime on them. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of those. I thought that they were too kitty, in my opinion.
They have done a 6 before. He said.
Okay, there we go. They have done a 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, G-Fish.
The Oracle in the building. Jillian Beagley diagnosed with liver transplant. Okay. And it looks like it comes with all these little extras too. Huh. Interesting.
Kind of like that croc, the croc.
Yeah, almost like a croc thing. Okay.
Yeah, that colorway is giving me those Verde Dunk vibes.
And real quick, I'm gonna tell you right now. More than likely, these are coming out in adult sizes. I don't think these are gonna be just youth sizes, but yeah, I mean,
for me, this will work for little kids. This won't work for adult size. I hope they don't do that. They should stick to this as a kid silhouette and no hype. I agree with you, bro. I don't agree with reselling kids shoes, bro, especially for something like this. 100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%, bro.
I'm not mad. You know what? I'm not actually mad at these though. To be honest with you, all right. The writing on the toe box is probably the one thing I probably don't agree with. But I think that's kind of they gave it the little Velcro there. You see here in the top right corner,
Yeah.
so you can switch those out. That's
Got little charms on it. Yeah.
yeah,
I think this works for younger
yeah.
kids. I think it does work. Nothing wrong with it.
All right, so now we have what in the hell? Dornbecker Nike Air Max Sanders.
You know what this gives me vibe of? The KDs.
Oh,
This kind of give me that Nerf KD vibe, in my opinion.
I can see resemblance.
I kind
I
of
can see
see it.
resemblance.
I kind of see it. I don't know.
It kind of give me that vibe.
Nah. That Superman 4 was the best of all time. I don't know, man. That Dornbecker 8. I really like that Dornbecker 8, though. I don't know if I can say the 4 is the best of all time. Although they did say that there's rumors out there that they wanted to try to bring that back, but they would have to pay for licensing rights to be able to use the Superman logo again. And apparently it'd be more expensive now than it was then when they did it.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's why
everything
they haven't tried to bring it back out.
everything goes up.
But hey, you never know. Nike may turn around and do it, and then next thing you know, that shoe retailing at $300.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anorectal malformation. Okay.
I love that Nike is giving these children the opportunity
To
to
design.
help them out and let them get creative. I love it. This is something that should never go away.
I agree
Dornbecker
with you, Jay.
Nike Air 180s.
Now this is dope.
That is
Nice.
nice.
This right here to me is something I would definitely consider copying. I would consider this right here for sure. This is super fire.
Now they dropped those Nike 180s. Those were the Andre Agassi's, right? They dropped them earlier this year. They were like all white with kind of pink and black hints on there.
Mm-hmm. This is so dope, man. Like to me, wow. This right here, that's dope. And I love the laces, man. Like the laces with it.
Yeah,
That's
these look like to be reflective laces on here.
Yep. That's and look at look at the lightning bolts on the side. This is like not
Yeah.
too much, but it's like
And I
that's
like
dope.
the gradient colorway, the way it fades from green to blue.
Yep.
I like that
That's
too.
the color scheme is fire.
And yeah, I understand this, right? Every shoe purchased goes to the Dornbecker Hospital there out in Oregon. So it's definitely a great program. Although I do wish they made more. You know, they had a higher stock number, little higher stock numbers on these.
Okay.
Because for that reason, right, when we were talking about it's not cool to be reselling these kids' shoes like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, resellers do it. There's people out there that want to get their hands on them. I think in terms of we had to rank Dornbeckers over the years, those Vomeros might be up there, top 5 in terms of Dornbecker collaborations are concerned. Would you guys agree to that? Disagree?
No. Hey. Agreed.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Diagnose type 1 diabetes. Okay. Okay. That's kind of dope.
Those are
Just
dope,
got hand
man.
in the
Like,
back.
that's
Okay.
dope.
I like the detailing on there.
A
Pretty
little glow in the
nice.
dark action on the bottom there.
Oh, okay. I see that. Oh, yeah. Bottom right corner over here. Nice. You don't see too many blue glow in the dark like that. Oh, okay.
Well, what does this remind y'all
Dornbecker
of?
Nike Sabrina 2s.
What does this remind you of? This colorway?
Oh, these giving me somewhat of Aunt Pro vibes.
No, it's giving me J Tip vibes. That colorway is giving
Pause.
me the J Tip
Pause.
vibes. Pause.
Yo,
Pause.
But I think this is a nice colorway. Like I think
the J tips, yeah.
this is a nice colorway. I love that outsole, man. Like that's
Look at that.
dope.
They got the smiley faces in there.
That's dope.
That is. I like that. And you know what? Shout out to Nike for allowing us to do the Bayou program. Some people have come out with some dope color schemes for these Sabrina 2s, man. For real. But these are kind of nice. Osteosarcoma. Okay, looks like
This
they
is
got jewels and stuff like that. And I guess you can turn them into a necklace, it looks like. On here.
That's nice, man. Shout out to these kids, man. Most importantly, all of these kids, I think, are wonderful with their creativity. Shout out to them and shout out to Nike for allowing them to absolutely express themselves. This is fire. I don't care how you cut it or slice it. This goes unmatched. Okay, it goes unmatched in my opinion.
Looks like they insulated these too with the way that material is. Interesting.
I like that. I like this pair.
Interesting.
I like them.
What else we got here? They did a Pegasus?
oh wow.
Okay.
I'm not even going to attempt to read what that is. X-linked. Yeah. It sounds bad. It sounds bad.
Look at the detail. Is that like a bear or a koala bear?
Yeah,
Like
that's what it looks like.
detailing is sick.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. They got a paw print there on the outsole. That's different.
Paw Patrol vibes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
different. That's different. Nice.
That's
Nice.
dope. Okay.
Okay. What else we got here? Okay, that's all of them. That's all of them. Yeah. I mean, hey. I guess out of these real quick, if you had to choose one, which one was your favorite?
Top right.
Mr. Think?
I would agree with that top right. Colorway wise, it'd be actually that DN on the bottom, but yeah, top right.
Perp?
I hate the DN, man, but that design goes nice, man. I hate the colors though. I'm not a black and gold guy.
Wow.
We know why.
We know why.
But that top right, man, that would definitely be my pick.
Okay. So me personally, my favorite is actually the Air Maxes. The black and gold Air Maxes. I love the way they look.
Okay.
I do. I love the way they look. But man, shout out to the chat for rocking out with us. Let's see here if we got any couple last minute questions before we close out. Let me skim through. Did you guys see any questions here?
Yeah,
maybe we need to get on.
Yeah, G-Flick was saying that he sent you a DM.
Yep.
Of those
Sent me one?
pictures.
Yep.
That's what he had mentioned.
Sent me one.
I definitely want to say to DJ Tyler Radio, bro, if you go ahead and you start a YouTube and showing your cops, let me know. I definitely want to be the first to subscribe to you.
Here we go. He did. He was nice enough to hit me with the picture here. Hold up.
That's dope.
Let me do this real quick.
Hey, look, this is why we always consult the Oracle.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
What year did those drop? Because I can't remember.
That's right.
I remember it now looking at it, though.
I do remember those.
Let's see here real quick.
Joel, I did not, bro. I did not. Dang.
There he dropped.
I need to look that up.
Here. Product details. They dropped 2009
Ooh, okay.
That's right.
at a retail price point of $165,
Damn.
and now $550 plus.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Hey, look, and think that's what I call a return on investment. Okay,
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah, man.
hack them away on
For
ice.
real. For real. Any other questions we got in here? Did you guys catch the Couch Laning's Nike sweatshirt while on the Dan Patrick show?
I did not.
No, I did not. I
No.
did not, actually. I did not. Let's see here. Before we close out. We've got another comment here about my the 8s were the favorite Dorenbecker. Just bought today the 180 Como de Garçons. Okay. From Snake 6. Appreciate you tapping in right now. What else we got here? Recent Pieces says she liked those Dorenbecker 6s that are coming out. My man said I like the Build-A-Bears is what he's calling them. The
Build-A-Bear.
John Parham said he liked the Dorenbeckers with the bears on them. I appreciate that.
Build-A-Bear. That's nice. Good morning, Joy.
Hey,
Joy Stickers tapped in. Good
Joy.
morning. Good morning to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you.
Oh man. Well, gentlemen, it's about that time. Mr. Think I'm Possible, what you got, bro, to close out?
Hey
with,
man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. It's always love. We had a couple of weirdos this morning. That's expected because the haters will rise and grind. So we just gotta outshine them. Appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Preach.
All right. Mr. Perp, what you got, bro?
Man, well, it's time to say goodbye to all our in chat friends.
Oh man, singing right now.
Yo, no, hey, chat, man, thank y'all for rocking out with us, man, on a dry drop Saturday. Okay, no
Dry
DD, no DD Saturdays. Pause.
No. Oh, hold up, Perp. You got to show him the haircut where my man was getting the Diddy oil put on it. I almost had to pause myself when I almost said squirt.
Oh my god.
Yo, pause and pause.
Hold up, chat. We can't let y'all go till y'all see this, man.
Hey,
For real.
and do y'all think this is gonna up the market on the sales on the baby oil? I just want to know.
Man, listen, I can't. I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see November 1st. All the pictures from October 31st.
That's a dope haircut, though.
Hey, look! Shout out to the barber. Shout out to the barber for being able to even do this. But look at this, bro. They took the baby oil. And put it right on the back of my.
The diddler strikes again.
Man.
Oh
Tough work.
man.
Yo, that is scandalous, yo. That is scandalous.
That cut is fire, though.
That is
fire.
diabolical work.
Diabolical work indeed. Oh man, Jay, what you got for the people, bro?
Hey, fam, without y'all, this is not possible. You guys absolutely drive me to do this all the time. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We really do appreciate y'all. I definitely want to tell you guys this, man. Either today or tomorrow, look out for that Oregon What the Duck shoe review I will be giving you all. Like, share, subscribe for real sneaker content. You know the model.
With the baby powder.
Yo, imagine, yo, Jay,
Yo,
Jay. Now look. I know you got your feelings when it comes to LeBron, but if you did that little,
Yeah, whoosh.
hey, next week let me find some baby powder.
you start bringing props onto the show now.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, man, for real, chat. Without you guys, man, this show is definitely not possible. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for tapping in, helping us out with the questions and the comments. Make sure y'all check us out next week, Saturday, once again, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And make sure you have those notification bells on, guys, because you never know when you may get a random pop-up live from either one of the guys down here with me on the panel. This is also the Wear Your Kicks channel, reminding you to be true, stay in a moment, and don't forget, every day's a great day to wear your kicks. And we are out. Appreciate you guys. Peace.